What's up guys, it's Dan from Dan's Reptiles here. Welcome back to another reptile room / update for January 2024. I have been a bit absent 2023, I've been very busy with work and studying and all that. But I'm back for a new year, big year, got a lot of content that's ready to go, a lot of videos ready, and should be a blast. Got a lot of expos I'm going to, going to be travelling a bit more as well. You guys are going to see a lot of footage of me travelling Australia, filming all the animals that we come across. It's going to be great. But enough of that, let's get back to what you guys are here for. In regards to the reptile room, not much has changed besides what you see there and something inside, but the next reptile room and the reptile room after that will be a big one, potentially a new addition for both of those, which is going to be awesome. But without further ado, let's get to it. So in this first enclosure houses my two eastern water dragons. These guys are found around my area in Sydney, Australia. Pretty much found throughout most of Australia actually, coastlines, Queensland, Victoria you find them, but in Victoria you find the Gippsland variant. They've got a nice blue to them. These guys actually have a nice green, and to determine whether they're male or female in these guys, it's actually really simple. You check under their stomach. If it's a big dark red or bright red, that's a male. Sometimes they do have a little bit of red, but it's very distinctive between the two. But yeah, these guys just actually laid some eggs for me. I'll show you guys later in the video. But we'll go through their setup now. So we'll talk about this massive setup first before we go in there. It's a 3-bay massive aviary, all fitted out with lights. Got power points in each room. You can see in the other enclosure here, this houses my snake. We'll get to her in a minute. But this has now got the rainforest wall up as well. PowerPoint and all that's ready in there. Just need to start building it. This will be ready maybe next month sometime for some baby water dragons. It's going to house these guys for until they find their new homes, but this is mainly for my new addition when it gets bigger. So it's going to be inside to start with, and then it'll come out here. But yeah, big 3-bay. It's all connected to electricity here. It's all portable as well, as you guys can see just there. Got a 4-gang switch, so it has 4 different controls, one for light and one for each PowerPoint. And that just plugs into a power point, so I can just take it wherever I want. It's on big sheets of rubber, so just because it actually maintains the heat really well, surprisingly. And we'll get into the water dragon enclosure. All 3 have bamboo backing as well, just 2-foot LED fluoros, and the rainforest wall. And yeah, so in this tank we have 2 water dragons. One's at the back there. I'll get them out for you guys in a minute. Waterfall here goes down into there. Just a pump that rotates it. Very high maintenance, this stuff, because I like to keep the water pretty clean. I actually cleaned this a couple of days ago and it's still getting a bit putrid. It's got a little midget palm plant there. Substrate's just wood chips. Got a hollow log thing there just to cover the tubing for it all. Up here, just got a hammock that I've attached here. Got these plant pots here. 3 of them there. Yeah, that's pretty much it here. So that's also a 150 watt heat bulb. I only turn that on either for show or when it's cold. I'll rotate that there and put a basking rock there. Like those are just there for show now, but I usually have a big rock. It's actually over here. Big rock there, I usually put that in there. But doesn't need it at the moment because it's quite warm. And we'll get the animals out for you guys. So here's my male, Mushu. I'll just quickly show him where he's sitting. He loves to sit up here. He sits in either one of them. Usually the pair of them will sit in one each, but since Medusa, my female who's down there, has recently laid eggs, she hasn't been up here recently. We'll also be feeding these guys too, as well as the snakes and the turtle. So that should be fun. But yeah, I'll get these guys out for you. So here's my female Medusa. And like I said before, you can see that she has a very faint red in there, but you'll see with Mushu, my male, how distinctive it is. But yeah, she's a bit skinny at the moment, as you guys can see. She has laid 2 clutches of eggs recently. The first clutch being a month and a half ago, and the second one probably 2-3 days ago. So these guys typically lay 2 clutches between 5 to 12 eggs, depending on obviously the size and so forth. She's done a very good job. She wasn't really the best mother. She sort of just left them on top of the ground, and she ended up laying total 5 in the water. So I lost 5 eggs in the water. But I've still got a couple eggs in the incubator. I've got, I think, 7 total. So she laid 1 in the water from the first clutch, and I saved the other 5, and 1 passed away from that clutch, and then she laid 3 in the dirt and 4 in the water for the second clutch, so that was a shocker. But yeah, that's her. She'll get nice and beefy soon, and I'll get out my male. And here is my decent sized male. So these guys will get bigger than this. He will get maybe 4 feet long. This is our Australian Eastern Water Dragon. I'd love to get a pair of Gippslands as well, because they have a nice blue, especially the males. I'll put a photo here. But yeah, like I said before with the stomach, very different compared to her. Very dark red, you can actually see it on the side as well. And these guys actually get a much larger head as well. Yeah, he's a good dad, nice and chunky boy. Still got a bit of growing to do. He's probably about just under 3 feet now. But it's mainly tail, but he will get another foot long over the years to come. I love their nice spine here. It's almost like a dinosaur, and then you got the nice one on the head. And then you got the nice stripe here. Beautiful, beautiful animal. So these are my water dragons. If you guys got any questions on them, just let me know in the comment section down below. I'll show you guys their eggs very shortly. But without further ado, let's get to the next animal. So in this second bay of the massive aviary houses my diamond python Crystal. So she's about maybe 2.5 meters, just under. Beautiful snake, definitely the biggest snake I own here. And I plan to get her a male soon. But yeah, times are tough. Okay, so that's pretty similar. Rainforest wool there. I'll take you through the setup in a minute, but it's pretty similar in regards to the same as this. Got the rainforest up the setting, but yeah, I'll take you in there now. One thing I like about these enclosures is I can actually walk in and communicate and hang out with the animal. One thing I do love about it. So this says pretty basic. I plan to add more here because now that wall's there. I plan to put either a rock wall there or just another sheet and maybe some more rainforest stuff. Just the tub there, you can see her head just poking out there a tiny bit. I'll get her out for you guys in a minute. And yes, I will be feeding her as well. I'll be feeding everyone. Water dish there, same substrate, just wood chips. Got a big base there for the tree to come up. A lot of branches she can climb on. Little custom rock ledge at the back there for her to sit on. My plan was to put a heat light there, but we'll get there eventually. Same with those aerial pots as well, they're there. Power points at the back. Yeah, inside there is koi peat. So if you guys don't know what koi peat is, it's this stuff. This was in the water dragon tank for the water dragon to lay in, but she never did. So this is quite dry at the moment, but if you dig in, you can see it gets darker. It's really good at holding moisture and water. It takes ages for it to go dry. Like this has just been sitting out in the sun every day, and I haven't used it. And in here is actually a couple super worms that I've found. Yeah, here we go. A couple super worms that I found in the water dragon tank. I've just put them in here for now. See if they turn into a pupae. There was a pupae in here before, but may have eaten it, or a beetle. But yeah, that's what koi peat is. This will be used later on. Put some sugarcane mulch in there for lizards to hibernate or roommate. But here she is here. As you can see, pretty big girl. I'll get her out in a minute for you guys, and then I'll feed her later this arvo. So this is Crystal. Very beautiful girl. Whoop. I'll put her around here. And the reason why they're called diamond python is because of their beautiful pattern here. They're also related to the carpet python. They're one of their cousins. Yeah, beautiful girl. I'm trying to show you her full length, but she's not really playing nice today. There you go. She's just wrapping there. There you go. She's got a very small head for her size, but she definitely puts out in regards to eating. She's eaten 500 gram rabbits, but I still keep her on rats at the moment, trying to fatten her up. Want her to be a really big snake. One thing I've noticed with keeping a snake this size outside in a nice big enclosure is she loses the fat. Like, she's not as girthy as a lot of carpet pythons I see, but she does put on the length. She's been growing ever since I've put her out here, and she's probably doubled in size since she's actually been out here. She's only been out here for a year, maybe a year, 2 years. But she's out here year round. When it gets cold, she'll go in there. When she gets hot, she'll go in that tub. The tub works wonders. Keeps her warm, and it also keeps her cool at the same time. It's a beautiful setup. But I hope to redo it, add some more branches for her. She's a beautiful girl. If you guys you guys have any questions on her, just let me know in the comment section down below. She looks like she's about to go in the shed again. She only just got out of shed. She really doesn't want to play nice, does she? They are very strong animals. Nothing but muscle. I can just feel her tightening on this. She's really tight on me right now. She's really tight there. Yeah, beautiful animal. And without further ado, we'll get to the next animal. Also, yeah, again, I'll be feeding her in this video. I'll do a massive video on all these guys before I get the new additions. I'm hoping to get 2 new additions, could be more, but I'll also have the babies in there, so there'll be a lot coming this year. Also got all the expos to go to, so stay tuned for that. And you guys will also see my Darwin trip. Without further ado, let's go. Moving on to the next setup out here. This houses 3 of my animals. Contains 2 blue-tongued skinks and a shingleback skink. And my shingleback actually left a present for me when I was cleaning him out today. This is his shed. Look at the size of that. They actually somewhat relate to some form of crocodile scale. They're actually really tough, as you guys can see. But that's probably the biggest form of shed I've gotten from him in a long time. You can even see his little feet right there. Enough of that. So this was built by me and my dad a couple of years ago. It's approximately 3 meters long, meter wide, half a meter high. Has 3 doors, one up there which has fence panels now on it. I did change it, used to be tarp. Now it's more stable, it's got fence panels on it. Or roofing panels. The other 2 doors just got mesh underneath that are stapled, so you can get access to the sun, the UV rays, and also it's allowed to be raining in there. Over there, keeps it dry, keeps it cool, also keeps it warm. I've noticed with 40-degree days, because we get really hot days here, it's not actually as hot underneath it. It's really hot, the panels, but underneath actually stays fairly warm. But yeah, we'll go over the enclosure now, and then we'll show you guys the animals. So these guys are definitely due for an upgrade. I will be hopefully getting rid of this completely this year and doing 2 or 3 there, new ones. But we'll see how we go. It is still a really good habitat or really good enclosure for these guys. Same substrate as the other ones, just wood chips. Got roof tiles here. This used to be an actual enclosure, but I just used this now. And our boy Dwayne's no longer in there. More shed in there. I let this weed grow. I literally just pulled all of it out here. It went across the entire enclosure. I thought it's time to pull it all out. Got a little hollow log here. This is their food dish. Big water dish over there. Hide with sugarcane mulch. They seem to go in here every day of the week. Let's see if anyone's in there. Yep, 2 of them are in there. We'll get to them in a minute. I wonder where our 3rd member is. I dare say he's in this. So as you can see, they get under this. Maybe he's under this. Yep, he's under there. He's still got his head to shed. Alright, you guys have seen the enclosure now. We'll show you its members. First up is Dwayne, my shingleback skink. Male. Been confirmed the other day, so we've got ourselves a nice male. Just helping him get this bit of shed off his head. This doesn't hurt the animal in any way. A lot of breeders actually do it to help them. Hey buddy. That one's a bit hard, so I'll leave that one for now. Beautiful animal. These guys eat mainly salad, but they also love dog food. They like insects. Practically a trash can with arms and legs. These guys have very short, stumpy toes here as well, but they're really sharp claws. You can see really tiny claws there. He's a pretty decent sized one too, nice and long. And yeah, his siblings actually were nice and caramel with stripes, but he doesn't like to be colourful, does he? He likes to be like a turd or a pine cone. These guys are nicknamed also the pine cone lizard because his tail here looks like a pine cone. So if he sees a bird in the sky or any form of predator, he'll actually walk backwards and they'll attack the head, which they think is this, which is actually his tail, and they can drop that and distract the predator and make a getaway. So they're pretty smart animals, very amazing. And yeah, if you guys have any questions on him, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll get to the next animal. Up next is Whitey, my albino eastern blue-tongued skink. This guy's actually the most active of all of them, but sadly he is blind. I don't know if he's completely blind or just partially, but he has trouble with eating finding food and all that when I first got him. I was really upset when I realised this, but he's actually adapted very well to this enclosure, especially of this size. He knows where the food dish is, so I leave the food dish where it is. The minute he smells it, he comes for it. I've actually seen him catch insects as well on his own. But the reason why you can tell he's blind, has no awareness of me at all, doesn't blink, doesn't do anything. And when I first got him, he had no idea how to find food. When I put him next to it, he can't actually grab food. He has to like open his mouth and keep going until eventually he hits food. But he's a very adaptive animal, very energetic. He's out every day non-stop, without a doubt. Very beautiful animal. You guys can see with his being albino, he's got the nice pink eyes. Doesn't actually have a blue tongue anymore, he's got a nice pink tongue. He's got these nice yellow bands. As you can see, he won't stop moving, so I'll put him back now. But yeah, beautiful animal. As much as it sucks, I wanted him for breeding, but he ended up being a pet. I couldn't get rid of him because of it, but yeah, beautiful animal. And I'll show you guys the third resident. This is my final resident. This is Maximus or Maxine, just because I don't know the gender. I've had her since she was a bub from Peter Birchall Critter Camp, and she happens to be one of the biggest blue tongues I've ever seen. So she is a Queensland locality eastern, and she's about 55 centimeters long. And on a good day, she can weigh 1.1 kilos is probably the most. I've weighed her at, we're saying 1.9, like not 1.9, sorry, 1.09, but yeah, she's not pregnant, or not gravid, sorry. She's just a very fat girl, eating everything in her path. Excuse me, buddy. The reason they get their name for the blue tongue is obviously because of that unique blue tongue that comes out of their mouth. Come on. Look at that. Yeah, she's very big for her size, as you guys can see. Massive. I lay her out like that. Massive. This is her. She was my first blue tongue. Obviously, he was second. I had hypermelanistic toothless, but sadly he passed away. I actually hope to get another hypermelanistic blue tongue this year, so stay tuned for that. I want to get into blue tongue breeding as well, and a lot of other breeding. Dwayne's back there. Fly. But yeah, if you guys want to see more videos on them, just let me know and I'll get to it. She actually feels really chunky there. She might have had a big breakfast. But we're going to be feeding these guys today, as well as the snakes, turtle, you name it. Alright, so we're up to feeding these guys. Come here, Whitey. Put him over here by the food. He'll recognise it eventually. Dwayne's coming straight over. So what it is just some dog food and some egg. I tried some egg the other day and they seem to have loved it. Maxine doesn't really care. She'll come back later. She's always the last one to come out and eat. And they're straight to it. So you can see Whitey's flicking his tongue. He's tasting it, realising that there'll be food here. And then he'll come and attack it. He's the most violent eater of all of them. But hopefully he gets to it before Dwayne sucks it all up. Alrighty, I'll be feeding the wood dragons today. What I got in here is just some superworms with some Reptile 1 calcium and vitamin D3. The reason I'm doing that is because obviously Medusa's just laid 2 clutches of eggs, so she needs those extra vitamins. Superworms are a really good choice of a fattening food. I do not recommend them as a full-time food, even though I give them to these guys often because I really want them to be fat. But yeah, they also love crickets, they like woodies, they like silkworms. Silkworms are actually really nice. I also get the tins of large grasshoppers from Exoterra, also large crickets, but they're not in stock at the moment at my local pet shop. I'll also be feeding these guys some adult mice. They seem to love them, but one thing about with these guys is I can never seem to film them eating. I can always catch them with it in their mouth, but I can never, it's like they know the camera's there. So we'll give it a shot, but I can't promise you guys anything. So let's get to it. I literally just filmed for like 10 minutes and now it's like they know because the door's open and I can't film without the door being open. Yeah, I'll try and catch them, see how we go. Alrighty, time to feed Crystal. This is what I'm feeding her at the moment. I was on bigger before, but she didn't take the last big one, so I thought I'd just stick to a smaller one for now. She usually has a lot bigger than this. Where are you, girl? Come here, girl. Come here, girl. Whee. I felt it flick my finger. Yeah, big snake, and she's fitting behind that. I don't know how. Don't know why. But she's doing it. Yeah, that's Crystal. That'll be the rest of her for this video. And yeah, let's go feed some more animals. In this big enclosure houses my very annoying and angry short-necked turtle. So this is Sunshine. She is my Murray River turtle. If you guys caught on, if you guys are from the US or not in Australia, these are all Australian animals. She's definitely one of the biggest turtles you can get here. And you can tell she is hungry. I've got a bit of a show for you guys today. I'll be feeding her a mouse. Later on in this year I'll release one, a little short of her ripping a mouse there in half. She's a very brutal animal. See if she does it for you guys today. If you guys want to not see that, just skip past it. I'll put a number up and you can skip to that if you don't want to see the mouse being ripped in half by a turtle. People don't understand that turtles are actually somewhat vicious. Like, she will eat anything. I'm surprised she hasn't eaten these fish in here. But yeah, very hungry as you can see. And she doesn't care that I'm a lot bigger than her. She'll happily take me on. But you guys should see when I get the food out for her. She knows when this is out and there's food. It's just, I'll shake it. Attitude completely changes. Like she's in hunting stage. Look at that. She knows. So yeah, we'll feed her a mouse first and then we'll get to it. But first I'll show you her enclosure. So her enclosure is just a 6-foot custom made aquarium. It looks a bit dull in that moment because I've just got a spare UVB strip across the top. I got rid of the LED panel because I'm getting a new light up here for my new addition. I got one of those, but I need another one of those and another fluoro tube. But I'm getting T5s because they're apparently a bit stronger in regards to the UV rays. It's a bit dirty in here at the moment because I just scrubbed all the glass. But tomorrow I'll be taking all the water out and changing the filter. Custom made ledge here, we just stuck some grass on so she can get up. Got 6 goldfish in here that she was supposed to eat, but now she's like befriended them and they thrive in here. They eat all the stuff that's just floating around in the water. I plan on getting more fish since she's not eating them, but I know the minute I get them is the minute she eats them. Got 2 waterfalls, one each side, 2 intakes or 2 pump intakes, one up there, one there. Got a heater that's not on at the moment because it still stays fairly warm because of summer. Look at that, she does not care. In the drawers here, I'll move this over here. It's got all my electrical stuff here, the lights and all that, cleaning stuff. And then here it's got screws and fittings and stickers. Here's the filter here behind all the soundproofing so you can't hear it. Even though it's behind all this, you can still hear it now. It's very quiet. Got that from eBay for like 70 bucks. In here, got the panel with all the electrical on it. Lights on a timer. So that's on during the day and off during the night. It's got some sugar cane mulch in there, got a scale and all that, all the good stuff. I plan on putting her outside in a nice outdoor pond soon, but it just depends how we go. But yeah, without further ado, let's feed her some mice. You guys are about to see the most brutal turtle on the planet. Look at that. I'll drop it in. Come on. She's also very dopey. Step back. She sees it. And what she actually does is she'll floor it and just smash it against any wall possible. Come on. You can get up. We've all seen you do it literally just then. and then she will just go straight back in. So she could do this for about 10 minutes before she actually starts trying to eat it. And she's stuck again. What she's doing now is she'll bend her leg and actually use her claw to tear it. You can see that she's leaning her head to the side and using that long, strong claw of hers to rip into it. And eventually, she will rip it into pieces so she can actually fit it in her mouth. Let's see if we can get that for you guys, but she doesn't like the camera whenever she's eating for some reason. Look at that, see? Look at that. We'll do this guy first. We'll feed him first before we talk about him because he will not leave me alone until I feed him. 3, 2, 1. So that is my first snake, Striker. Here's my hopefully male blonde spotted python. I'll turn this light so you guys can actually see his colours. He's one of the most beautiful spotted pythons I've ever seen, and I cannot find a mate for him that even comes close to that coloration. So we've come to the conclusion that he's a Cape York blonde spotted python, and he's just taken a rat. But I know the minute I open this enclosure he's just going to come at me because he's been doing it all day, so I was like, I'll feed you then. This is set up. Reptile 1, 3-foot enclosure, custom rock wall background, Queen peat substrate, keeps the moisture in. Reptile 1 builder branch. I don't know if that's Reptile 1 or not. It's got UVB strip up the top, heat bulb. There's a heat mat under here. Usually the lights aren't on, the heat mat's on, but it's off because it's been really hot in here lately. Big water dish, plants and some rocks, and an Exoterra hide. That's actually the first hide I've ever owned over there when I first got my bearded dragon Charlie way back in 2014 or 2012, one of the two. Very reliable, the Exoterra. Yeah, that's him. Sorry, he's a little short clip of him. Just thought I'd get him out of the way. I'll show you guys that. Look at that, beautiful caramels. I just knew he wouldn't leave me alone until I fed him, so he wins. If you guys want some more footage on him, let me know in the comment section down below. And without further ado, we'll get to the next animal. So in this very small enclosure houses two very small lizards. Houses my two pink-tongued skinks. There's one there, and the way I get them out is not actually grabbing them, but actually putting food in there, because no matter if they've just eaten yesterday or eaten today, as soon as you put the food bowl out, they seem to want to come out. That looks like Squirt. He's yawning away. So this houses two, Squirt and Crash. Crash is a lot bigger. The reason why I call them Squirt and Crash is from Nemo. Squirt was the big turtle, Squirt was the little baby turtle. But yeah, this is their setup. Just a little Repti Zoo enclosure I got from the expo. UVB bulb up top, heat mat underneath, but obviously it's off because it's very hot in here. Queen peat substrate, just a couple hides and branches, little water dish. I hope to upgrade these guys into this eventually, so the goal is to get my new addition in here for a year. And when he gets nice and big, he'll go out in the third bay aviary where I said the water dragon baby's going to go. And then I'll move these guys into there with potentially some other new additions. So get keen for that. But that won't be, the new additions won't be here for another maybe 2 years, those ones. It's just so these guys can get big enough to actually go in there, because they're very small at the moment. Well, enough dilly-dallying, and I'll get some food in there for you guys so you can see them. So here's some cat food. Their favourite food. Very gooey, they like it nice and gooey, with a little bit of meat chunks in there. They do also eat crickets, very small insects. But watch Squirt come out. Now that he's smelt food, it's the quickest way to get them out, just put a bit of food in there. No matter how much they've eaten, they'll always come out. These guys will get quite larger than this, not as big as a blue tongue. But these guys are actually the exact opposite of a blue tongue. So instead of them being very short and stumpy and ground dwelling, these guys will happily be in the branches. They can use their long strong tail to hang from branches and go from branch to branch. So that's Squirt. Where's Crash? I dare say Crash is in here. Crash is a lot larger than Squirt. See if we can find Crash. I bet he was just behind that. There he is there. There's Crash there. You see he's a lot larger than the Squirt. Very efficient climbers. You can see he's going nice and brown. So over time they lose their bands. So he'll just become one. They'll both just become one colour once they mature. I did get these guys at like 2 weeks old from Reptile Expo this year, so quite a while until they mature. But yeah. So that's Crash up there. Big long one. Again, they will get a lot larger than this. But Squirt always seems to come out with food. Crash not so much. Crash is very skittish, has typical pink tongue behaviour, but Squirt is a very different animal. He actually will come out under my hands sometimes if I'm lucky. Yeah, beautiful animals. And that's it for this reptile room. Actually, I can show you guys some eggs. We'll get to that real quick. So in here is my eggs. So that is currently sitting at 25.5 degrees Celsius under my bed. So you can only imagine how hot my bloody room gets. Here are in here. So you got 2 clutches in here. These are the recent ones, but they're looking a bit how you going because they're starting to sink. This one's come back good. That one, not so much, and that one's, yeah, they're starting to harden up. So we'll see how they go. But you can see the size difference in regards to the clutches, and these guys keep burying themselves. Like, look at the size of that. That's a month ago compared to a couple of days ago. But yeah, quite massive. I've marked them just to see how much they move from the top. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. And if you guys want to see anything, just let me know in the comment section down below. And I'll talk to you all later.